Yo, what's going on, guys? Today I'm going to be going over the NBA slate on DraftKings for Saturday, May the 18th. We got a showdown slate between Golden State and Portland. We got Game 3 of this series Saturday night. Portland headed back home, down 0-2. This is a big game for Portland. I think they need to win both of these home games if they want to even have a chance in this series. So I'm going to expect guys like Damian Lillard, CJ McCollum to play very well, and that will impact my thoughts and my picks for this showdown slate. Really like Damian Lillard. We'll talk about that in a second, though. But we're going to work our way through the player pool, do like we've always been doing for these showdown videos. You guys seem to enjoy these. I've had a lot of fun making them, had a lot of fun playing these showdown slates. So we're going to start off at the top of the player pool, work our way down. We'll talk about my favorite studs, my favorite mid-tier plays, and then we'll look at some value plays that I like. We'll also look at different roster constructions. We'll build out a couple lineups, maybe with an expensive guy as our captain, maybe if we want to go with a cheap guy as our captain. We'll just look at different roster builds. But before we do get started, guys, I would appreciate it if you would drop a like on the video. It does really mean a lot, and if you are new to the channel, make sure you click that subscribe button down below, so that way you won't miss out on any of my new videos. Starting off at the top, Steph Curry remains our most expensive option. He's $11,200 if you want to play him in your utility, and he is $16,800 if you want to use him as your captain. I really like Steph Curry here. It's hard to not like him. He just continues to play so well with Kevin Durant off the floor. Curry has been dominant. 2 games in this series, 60 and 58 DraftKings points, 36 points, 7 assists, 6 rebounds first game, 37 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists the next game, playing big minutes as well. I expect Curry to continue to dominate, continue to put up these big outings, so he's going to be a top priority for me at $11,200. I also think Damian Lillard is a guy that I do want to try and pay up for, and I actually like playing Damian Lillard as a captain today. I think that makes a lot of sense. Lillard, $10,400. Really like him here, headed back home. I expect Lillard to play very well. I expect Portland to win this game. I think Portland can win both of these games if Lillard and McCollum are at their peak and are playing very well. Lillard did kind of bounce back in Game 2 like I expected. 49 DraftKings points, 23, 5, and 10. He shot 37% from the field, so he wasn't very effective. But for three, he did go from the three, he did go 5 for 12, so 41% from three, which was big. Obviously, Lillard's going to continue to play huge minutes. I really like going builds where you put him and Curry in there together. I think there's some good cheap plays I like that allow me to do that. So I'm going to be starting a lot of my lineups with Curry and Lillard together. Most likely going to be using Lillard as a captain. And if I have the salary, then maybe I'll use Curry as a captain. But obviously, guys like Draymond Green, Klay Thompson, CJ McCollum, don't want to overlook these guys. Draymond Green, another guy that's been playing very well in this series. Through 2 games, 42 and 48 DraftKings points. He had a double-double in Game 1, had a double-double again in Game 2, nearly had a triple-double in Game 2, was just 3 assists shy. He was very good on the defensive end in both games, 3 blocks, 2 steals Game 1, 5 blocks in Game 2. Draymond Green been getting double-digit scoring in both games, double-digit rebounds in both games, and I would not be surprised if that continues here. I do like Draymond Green a lot at $9,600. Him and Klay Thompson are very closely priced. Green's $9,600, Thompson's $9K. I think I would rather play Green over Thompson today. Then CJ McCollum at $8,600 might be one of my favorite tournament plays because he's been very bad in this series. Through the 2 games, just 21 and 34 DraftKings points. But with Portland headed back home, I expect both McCollum and Damian Lillard are going to play very well and are going to put up big games. So I do like going to McCollum as a tournament pivot. I think in cash games, you probably just want to try and get Draymond Green in there if you're choosing between one of these 3 guys. But McCollum for tournaments as a lower-owned play, I really like a lot. Andre Iguodala at $7,200 is kind of just in no man's land for me. He's just so closely priced to the top 3 guys, Green, Thompson, McCollum, that I would just try and get up to those guys. Or you could even look cheaper, go down to some value plays like Enes Kanter at $6K, Kevon Looney at $5,400 I really like. You got Harkless at $5K. So don't see myself going to a ton of Iguodala today. Enes Kanter at $6K I think is appealing. He did have a pretty poor Game 2, just 13 DraftKings points in 19 minutes, did not play very well. He did have a very good Game 1 though, 36 DK points in 30 minutes, had 10 and 16. He did see his price drop a lot. He was $7,400 on the last slate, and now he's down to $6K. I think with the price drop, with how much upside Kanter has if the minutes are there, he's a guy that you can definitely look to at $6K. I would feel a lot safer, though, going to Kevon Looney for a little bit cheaper. Looney just feels like a very safe option. 24, 29 minutes through 2 games in this series. And he did start the second half over Andrew Bogut in Game 2. So I would not be surprised if we see Kevon Looney draw the start here and Andrew Bogut go back to the bench. Looney got 29 minutes last game and had 29 DraftKings points. He was very productive, and if he does draw the start, which I think is very possible, I expect Looney to be a great value option. So I really like going to him at 5,400. I love starting off with Curry, Lillard, then finding the value plays. Looney's one of the value plays I do want to touch on. Mo Harkless at 5K as well, I think is a very good value. He's been consistent in this series. The minutes have not been as high as I would like, just 30 and 23 minutes through 2 games, but been consistent, like I said, 31, 23 DraftKings points, and his price is down to 5K. He was 6K on the last slate, so Mo Harkless at 5K I think as well makes for a good value play, but I do prefer Looney. Between like him, Canner, and Looney, I prefer Looney, but Harkless will definitely be a guy that I use quite a bit in my player pool. But the cheap punt play I want to talk about is Seth Curry. Seth Curry all the way down here at 3K, I like a lot today. I expect Seth Curry's probably going to be pretty popular, but for good reason. He's starting to see the minutes increase, 29 minutes in Game 2 in the last game, and had 29 DraftKings points off the bench, 16, 1, and 2 with 4 steals. He did shoot pretty well from the field, shot 55%, 5 for 9, and then 4 for 7 from 3, which was probably one of the reasons that he was able to stay on the floor and was able to play this amount of minutes. We could see the same thing happen again, especially with Portland going back home. I think they're able to win this game. They're going to need a big game from Curry off the bench, so I do like him as a value play at 3K. He's so cheap that he allows you to get in the studs that you want. Like if you go with this core right here, and if you use someone like, we'll just put Lillard in there as our captain. Let's see if I can do this real quick. Put Lillard in there at captain. That leaves you 7,400 remaining per player, which you can definitely work around. You could go with a cheap guy like Harkless at 5K. That would leave you enough to get in Draymond Green. So that's one of the roster builds that I really like going with Lillard as captain, then filling out with the rest of those guys. If you want to try and get Curry in there, captain, we'll put Curry in there. Then we'll put Lillard in there. We'll take out Harkless and Draymond since those are going to be secondary plays. This is the 4 that I really like to build around: Curry, Lillard, Looney, and Curry again. But going with Steph as our captain leaves us 7,200 remaining per player. So if you want to try and go to Harkless again at 5K, you wouldn't have enough to get Draymond Green, but you could play Klay Thompson. So that's kind of a decision you have to make. Do you want to play Curry as your captain and use Thompson in your util, or do you want to play Lillard as your captain and use Green in your util? I think both strategies are viable. Or you could even use C.J. McCollum in there and leave some salary on the table, get a little bit of a contrarian lineup. But that's kind of the way I'm attacking this slate. I expect a lot of my lineups to be with Curry at captain or Lillard at captain. Other cheap captain plays, though, that we could consider: Draymond Green at 14-4, I would not mind at all, especially since he has shown he can have those big games. He has upside in this series. He's gone for 40-plus DraftKings points in both games. So if you want to use Green, you can. If you want to maybe try and fit in an extra stud, going to Draymond at captain makes some sense. I don't think I want to go down to guys like Looney or Harkless in my captain because I don't know if the upside's really there. Like for these guys to be good captain plays, I've said this multiple times, but for these cheap guys to be good captain plays, you're going to need them to put up at least like 35-ish, close to around there DraftKings points. And Canner was able to do that in the first game, and that's why I really liked him as a captain because he was so cheap. But like I don't know if I want to go to Looney as a captain. He would probably be my favorite cheap captain. Or maybe even Seth Curry. Let's see what kind of roster we can build with Seth Curry as our captain. We could definitely fit in Lillard. We could fit in Curry. We could fit in Draymond Green. Probably could go to Thompson as well. That'd leave you enough to play. You wouldn't have enough to play Looney, but if you wanted to put in C.J. McCollum, then you could put in Looney. So if you just really want to load up on the studs, if you think Seth Curry gets hot from the field again and potentially goes for 30 DraftKings points, like if Seth Curry puts up 30 DK points at 4,500 as your captain, he's probably going to wind up being a very good play. So that's a roster build you could use. That would more be like a GPP play or like a low-owned play. Like I don't think I would do that in like a cash game or anything. Just looking for the optimal lineup, you definitely want to pay up for Curry or Lillard as your captain, then use like the other Curry for value, use Looney for value, and then throw in guys like Draymond Green. Just find a way that you can build the optimal lineup. But that's just kind of how I'm attacking this Showdown slate. I think I talked about pretty much everyone that I feel like I'm going to be rostering. Like I didn't really hit on Aminu at 4,400, but he just hasn't been doing much in this series, hasn't really been getting the minutes. Myers Leonard hasn't really been getting a lot of minutes either. Just 17 minutes last game. Just don't know if I want to go there. I think he actually got a DNP the first game, so don't really want to consider him. My favorite cheap play is Seth Curry at 3K. He definitely makes the most sense. Jordan Bell saw some minutes last game, 21 DK points in 14 minutes, but I just don't know if we can rely on him to be that productive coming off the bench, so he would also be someone that I'd probably just avoid. If you're just going to go this cheap, I think you just play Seth Curry and hope he gets hot from the field again. So that's how I'm kind of looking to attack this Showdown slate, guys. I think that is it for this video. Hopefully you did enjoy this video. Hopefully it did help you. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you click that like button down below. I would really appreciate it. Make sure you subscribe if you have not already, and if you do have any questions, feel free to leave them down in the comment section below, or like always, you can hit me up on Twitter at the DFS_GOAT. But yeah, guys, I think that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you in the next one. Good luck tonight. Peace.